Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Pro League. We got the first day of round 4 here live at the Nexon Arena. I am Valdez. With me, as always, is Moonglade. How are you feeling?
Not too bad, Valdez. A little tired, mate, getting back from Europe this morning, but I'm keen to get these matches underway, and I'm keen to look at how Prime is going to perform today after losing their ace player after round 3.
Yeah, that's kind of like the big story. Even though Prime hasn't really been doing well at all, they do lose their one and only hope. They used to have Coda. They were using other guys that were coming up from time to time. Now they've only got these 4 guys, plus the Chinese players who are all in China because of MERS. So we're going to be seeing this kind of roster come up a lot here in the future from Prime.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty rough round once again. I think the last round was one of the worst we've ever seen from any other teams in this entire league, which is kind of sad to say, but it speaks volumes about where these guys are at and how the morale is in this team. And
yeah, I'm getting a weird feeling looking at them being together. It's almost as if they feel doomed to their fate, and they're kind of like laughing about it. You know what I mean?
They're going through the motions right now.
Well, we're screwed, kind of like that. Whereas SKT doing as well as ever. You know, they're on top here, 303 points. They're a definite shoe-in for the finals here. Final playoffs, at least, for Pro League this year. So they should be feeling quite well about themselves, especially because so many of their players are playing so well, too.
Yeah, I mean, SKT, the most top-performing team in just about every league, now get to start this round off with a pretty damn easy, the easiest match they could have asked for.
Oh, yeah. Not sure how it worked out this way, but, I mean, this is a great way to start off, of course. I'm sure they're going to be looking for that 3-0, as is the way with Prime usually. We made a bunch of jokes last round about them being the kind of like the bonus round, basically, for all these teams. They just want to get as many points as possible. It's kind of a sad state of affairs, but it is the reality of our situation. Might as well,
embrace it for what it is now. It's like, well, these guys just took another huge hit. They're not gaining players; they're losing them. They've always been in a bad way since the start of this, and as you can see from the rankings right now, SKT are ranked 1 up against the rank 8 today, which is Prime, sitting on 100 points.
Yeah, 100 points, the biggest disparity between any 2 teams here in Pro League, starting for round 4. And taking a look at some of the other teams here, I guess if SPL does really well, like if they get 40, I guess they might even have to win this whole thing, this whole round at least, in order to have a chance to get in.
Yeah, it could be very possible. You know, I wouldn't put it past them either. They showed some amazing matches in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, they definitely have a chance. They're really just going to have to pull it together. And of course, here are the winners' rankings so far coming into round 4. Maru and Hero remain on top. Even with Hero, I was taking a look at some of his stats from the different rounds. He went 4-3 in round 1, 7-1 in round 2, and then 4-4 in round 3. So by far, round 2 is his best.
Yeah, and now we have a look at the new map pool. We're getting rid of Expedition Lost and Deadwing. I kind of like that. And then adding Terraform and Iron Fortress. So we're seeing no Dash Terminal. We're seeing no Moonlight Madness, unfortunately, but you're going to get some other of the interesting, more macro-oriented maps.
Yeah, I actually like it. It's not the most fun maps, but it's like, just good maps in general, very solid maps. Here we have the team review for Prime. For some reason, it doesn't show them losing Creator, but also Terror's still in there.
Yeah, I guess.
And Youngshik.
No exit, man. You can't leave this team, apparently. But I mean, look at their wins and losses. They've been going downhill in a big way since round 1. 4 wins to 21 losses in that last round.
Never Rising Sun. I guess they're talking about Solar because, his name.
Right? Yeah.
He's gotten 1 win and I think like 13 losses here. Yeah, something ridiculous.
He's had a bad showing, and I mean, look at as well. These guys, they've been underperforming as well. A lot of losses actually.
Yep. Win difficultly, lose easily. It's MVP. They've never had a 3-0 win, I guess, and more than a 3-1 win. It's happened 1 time each round, then more than a 1-3 loss. It's happened a bunch of times each round.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting statistics. Who is Ace? That's a great...
he plays Heroes now, I believe.
Yeah, he might even be a coach, man. That guy, he was very... he's a great player. I'd love to know more about who Ace is as well. Looking at, I mean, who they might be for that team, I'd say it might be Dongray Gu currently. He's got the better stats out of everyone.
I suppose, but at the same time, you know, Curious just winning the event that we were at, Valencia. You know, we'll see if he can come back here with some renewed spirits.
Yep. Slow starter, KT roster. They're doing pretty good for themselves still. You know, they are in that. They are in the top 4 currently.
Yeah, 4th place. They're just barely getting in there. Definitely behind the top 3 of SKT, CJ, and Jinner. And also Flash, one of their key players from last season, is not doing as well as he did last season for sure. Yeah. At least in the start there.
Round 3, actually, they look great. Like they
really did.
A lot better. And now we have the unlucky runner-up, Generic Green Wings. A lot of second places, but hey, they still kind of solidified themselves in the top 4 as well doing so.
Yeah, I mean, these round playoff wins, they're basically for the fame and the glory and the points, more specifically. You get 30 extra points if you win compared to second place. And even so, just like you said, they're still in 3rd place. I think they've still secured a spot at least for the playoffs. Slump?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. And I mean, the 2-ace players, Biel and Hero, have not been performing to their usual standards. I mean, you can see that reflected in round 3 there.
It's actually that is actually probably the best key word or key phrase we've had for any of these teams. That really is the big question.
This one's pretty good too, Unstoppable. It speaks volumes about SKT, and I mean, these guys are out of control in the individual leagues as well as Pro League. Just racking up the wins.
Yeah. I mean, look at all these players. I mean, Darky just made 2nd place. Kespa Cup Classic winning a 2nd thing in a row. Dream, you're recently doing pretty decently as well. You got Sue winning Kespa Cup. Innovation coming back a bit too.
Classic winning IEM.
Yeah.
You know, these things, they just don't stop. And now we have today, the first match. It's going to be SKT versus Prime, rank 1 versus rank 8. And I think Prime might have a shot against Sori, maybe, if Sori is like still in that sideward arrow sort of category. I don't know. Yeah. We don't get to see him that often.
And usually when he comes out, it's, I don't know, I just remember this guy cheesing a lot. He goes for like proxy racks all the time, just like proxy reaper kind of thing. SKT trying to win 10 straight matches in the regular season. I suppose they've gotten 9, I guess. Well, they're on number 10.
Soon to be 10, I think, if unless Prime can cause one of the greatest upsets in the universe. Prime in a 7-match losing streak in their regular season. Looking to make it 8 today, Valdez.
Yeah. They're looking to do that. I mean, that's definitely what's going on here.
They're like, well, we're going to try and break records some way. Might as well try it the other way.
First, we got to get rid of Creator, and then we can, you know, be in a better place.
Like now, the puzzles on the having placed, or the keys, or something.
Pieces of the puzzle
not the keys,
are coming together.
They're coming together, Valdez. And now they can create this new level of slump we've never seen. Yeah. Something I hope doesn't happen, because I tell you what, it makes our job a lot easier if the games are fantastic and the teams are head-to-head. But when we're faced with this kind of adversity, with the team just struggling so hard, it is very depressing.
Yeah, it is kind of depressing. Nobody wants to see it. I mean, even SKT at some point, they want some kind of challenge coming in here. But we are going to see Sori coming out here. He uses an appropriate song as well. CN Blue. Sorry.
Hey man, you got to stick to your theme, I guess. 2-2 currently in Pro League, and a lot of cheeses, a lot of proxy reapers.
Yeah. We just don't really get to see this guy too often. He's kind of like that one. He's like an A- player. I don't know how you would put him. I guess he's like a B player, but they have so many good players that he just doesn't get much playtime in Pro League.
I mean, yeah, he certainly is one of the B teams compared to the other big names on SKT currently, but you know, they are up against Prime, so he does get a shot. They get to let him lead and give him some experience and some play time, which I think is very important for someone like him.
Yeah, and he's going to be up against KeeN here. So far in 2015, only 1-6, but he is winning in the song category. He picked a pretty good one.
Not a bad one. Not a bad song at all. Might have something to do with the state of how he's feeling right now, Valdez. Don't look back in anger, Creator, as you leave us.
Yeah, man. They said it was no exit, but somehow he made his way out of the team.
It took a while. It actually took a lot longer than I expected as well, to be honest.
Yeah. We were saying that for a while. You know, this kid, he's got a lot of talent, but it doesn't really seem like he's got the team to back him up. I think if he finds a spot on a different team, you know, maybe for next year, we could see a new and improved Creator. But
yeah, I mean, he clearly cared a lot as well because we saw creative breakdown time and time again, but Valdez.
Oh, yeah. Well, guys, let's jump into game number 1 here on Coda between Sori and KeeN. Down here in the bottom right in the red, our Terran player from SK Telecom, it is Sori.
Whoa,
that is scary.
That's like from The Grudge, man. And I tell you what, The Grudge freaks me out more than any other horror movie.
Really?
Yep. On the top left, we do have the Prime player looking to make something happen here today. It is KeeN.
Yeah.
He's got the best shot out of everyone in this lineup to actually get a point on the scoreboard.
He's also sent out a pretty early SCV. So he is looking to make something happen. In fact, Moonglade, you were exactly right. I mean, this map is good for it. We've seen it sometimes out of Sori, even. You know, he comes out on this map, I think, twice.
Well, that's the funny thing. Reaper. Yeah, it's the good thing about this is that he's giving something back to Sori that Sori would normally do. Now, that at the same time, Sori has a lot of experience against us, no doubt. And look at that, a very early gas we're seeing. It's actually a pretty good build advantage for KeeN going into this.
Yeah, you know, he definitely could take this early advantage for Prime. It'll be interesting to see if he can make this work. So far, Sori not going for any kind of scout, just sitting in his base.
Yeah, his Rax is going to be a lot later.
Yeah. Going to drop that down there on 12 after the gas. And from KeeN, it does look like it will be those Reapers.
Yeah, this kind of positioning, it would no doubt be the Reapers, unless he plans to float the Rax in or something, which would be cool, but it's too far to the left. If it was next to the ridge, maybe it would happen, and it'd be like, it just never work anyway, because they'd pull SCVs and then surround the Marauder or something.
Yeah.
So here we go. It's going to be that Reaper. Whenever the gas comes from there, it's not a bad build order advantage for KeeN. He's going to get that Reaper in nearly at the same time the Rax finishes up, I think.
Yeah. I think, yeah, the Reaper's getting done here about 1/3. He's going to have to try to get out of Marine as fast as possible and then protect it with SCVs.
Ooh.
Let's see if this SCV can come in here and make a bunker, actually. That would be sick.
For it. Yeah, and he's making a Reaper of his own here. So it's going to be a lot more time for KeeN's Reaper to come in here and actually start focusing down SCVs before it pops. Let's see there.
I don't know. Getting the Reaper out here is actually going to be pretty decent. He's not going to be able to stop that bunker from finishing, though. And here comes the Reaper, going to delay that factory, killing the first SCV.
He's going to let it happen, and not a bad choice. He can pull SCVs with this. Now the Reaper's going to come out.
Ooh, and that Reaper got the first shot. Getting a second kill here is pretty good, but at the same time, he's going to have to stay back there in that bunker. Yeah,
there's always going to be a deficit in Reapers for Sori, though, so he's got to be careful of that second one coming in at some point. But when he finishes his factory and gets out of Hellion, that's when the odds favor him.
Yeah, right now these guys are equal on workers. Even Sori ahead 1 at this point. He can afford to pull some SCVs as long as he can survive here. Gets out of Marine, it's definitely going to help with this defense. And once he gets that Hellion, you know, he could definitely just push this away. Really nice micro here.
I do like the fact that he went for Marine straight after, you know, not trying to even up the score with Reapers or anything like that. Just go into Marines, get them out as fast as possible.
Yeah. And at this point, the Reapers are pretty much zoned out. They're going to try to snipe the Reaper. Nice little snipe there, but he will lose one of his own, too.
Now that Hellion out, it's going to make things a lot easier. And now, essentially, the damage isn't really done at all.
I mean, that's the end of the build, basically.
That's the end of the build. He didn't find the economic damage. The workers are in favor of Sori right now. The counter-attack with his Hellions can do a lot of damage, and at the very least, it's going to force back the Reapers.
It's going to force him all the way back here, and he's going to get a full scout of the base. There's going to be nothing to stop it. You'll see exactly how far ahead he is.
Not even going to commit to it just yet. And here we go. Hellion going to come in here and deny the factory building. Just a little bit.
Yeah, and those Reapers, they were going home, and then they went back, and then now they're going back home because he's really realizing, like, oh, I actually have no defense at all.
Well, he's going to get a couple of SCVs. I doubt he's going to get too many more. Not with these 2 Reapers here. I doubt he's going to find a way up, but here we go. One last shot. Not going to happen.
Gets him pretty weak. And as we stand now, the tech is farther ahead for Sori. The economy is much better. And I wouldn't be surprised to just see a follow-up kill KeeN. He's got to float that barracks all the way home. He can't make units out of it.
Yeah, look at what we have here. 3 Reapers. They're going to be defending against like a Marine Hellion drop. Oh, Hellion run by with a Marine drop. It's going to do so much damage. It has so much survivability against like Reapers. I think it's going to be a lot of trouble. That's 3 Hellions as well, and they can just run up the ramp. There's no block there.
Yeah, I mean, he can try to block with the Reapers, but even so, like, the Marine drop is just going to do so much damage. There's only 1 bunker in the front, and when you got a medevac out on the map, it's not really going to help you out here.
He can even ferry so he can avoid that bunker completely. But look at this. He's going to run into 3 Hellions, taking big hits here.
One of them is definitely going to go down. He's trying to save that second Reaper. It goes down. That was basically his only defense,
There's 1 Reaper in a bunker to defend against. If he can actually take down the bunker, he doesn't have to do anything.
Nah, he's just going to run by.
He just runs by it anyway.
Doesn't matter. There is absolutely no defense here for KeeN. He's going to have to try to run away all these SCVs, but looks like this just maybe a quick game number 1 here for SKT.
Yeah, certainly so. There's no way KeeN can hold this off. Look at that line!
Oh, he kills. Unbelievable.
So close that there wasn't more. Nearly every SCV took damage there. Oh, man. Just an absolute disaster. Train wreck for KeeN. He might be able to clean it up. He's got some Hellions out now. He's landing that Viking, but I think the economic damage has been done in a big way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, 26 SCVs, 27 now to 12. He had to run away all of his mining SCVs for a very long time. We have a follow-up here from Sori. It is going to be Cloaked Banshees. And, I mean, at this point, KeeN has to use all of his energy for mules, or else he's going to be super far behind.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have any detection whatsoever besides that either, so it could also be another checkmate move here where the economic damage is just too much. It's already been critical damage. He's almost twice the supply, and it's 9 minutes in right now.
Yeah. You know, it was looking decent for KeeN, but I think Sari's response was really, really nice, and KeeN was just not able to find much damage at all. And from there, he was just way too far behind. This is going to be interesting. He's actually going to force that second Banshee to close. But GG.
GG. Yep. Sees that Banshee in his base. Realizes there is no way he can defend against that. And a nice, easy win for Sari to start things off. Great start for SKT. From here, the veterans come out, Valdez.
Yeah. This, once again, was kind of just like Sari's, you know, 5th time coming out here against one of the weaker teams. He does his job. There you go. SKT goes up 1-0 here in this first match of round 4.
Next up is going to be Innovation versus Yoda. Another tough fight. Much harder this time for Prime. Yoda has not had much success at all in Pro League. So he's going to have a very uphill fight against someone who's doing so well currently.
Yoda was looking okay in the beginning. Like, I'm talking about round number 1, but then once things started going down for Prime, things started going down for Yoda. He kind of just, like, was playing with the morale they had, and he's now on something like a 10 or 11 game losing streak, something ridiculous like that.
It's been this giant snowball of sadness, Valdez, from round 1 and going downhill since then. Like, you can just see these players slowly start to degenerate. Their skills are getting lesser and lesser.
Yeah.
Their morale is quite obviously in such a negative state right now, and I'm not surprised, man, when you're in this kind of situation. It's not like they can bail out, I'm sure, either. Like, they probably have contracts, they have to stick around and play this out no matter what. No matter what the state is of the house, of the team, the morale.
You essentially have to stick to it, but when no one else is, you know, doing well and nobody's practicing, like, we don't really even know what's going on in there, but it doesn't really seem like, you know, these guys are focusing too much on winning the games, despite the results so far. As you mentioned before, Innovation versus Yoda.